Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel and I make videos about books. So today it's Christmas Eve and I am gonna do a 24-hour reading challenge. Hello, this is Ariel 2 days later. I'm not filming a 24-hour reading video now. You know that because you've clicked on this video, but for intro purposes, scratch that. This is now just a Christmas reading vlog. I overestimated how much time I would have Christmas weekend to just read and like be by myself. I don't know why I thought like I was like, oh, I have a 3-day weekend, I'll just read the entire time. No, I had to do Christmas things, so I filmed all these clips and I want to share my thoughts on the books, so I'm still posting this. But yeah, it's a Christmas reading vlog, but it started out as a 24-hour reading vlog, so if I like can't really cut all of the 24-hour reading references, you know why. Okay, anyway, enjoy. Sorry, it's not even nighttime, it's just 5, but I'm reading Hercule Poirot's Christmas, and I've been trying to read an Agatha Christie every month, and this month obviously had to pick up the Christmas one, and I really like it so far. I like it a whole lot better than Halloween Party. Like, this involves a family who are like together for Christmas and then someone ends up dead, so it's kind of like, you know, it's someone in that immediate group, and it just feels much more coherent that way compared to Halloween Party, where it's a little like there was no way I could have guessed it, versus this one, like, I already have some suspicions. I kind of think it's Arnold because he seems the nicest and least likely, so I'm guessing it's him. I don't know though. Also, it's kind of funny because I don't know, this had to be intentional, but one of the characters, his father is named Ebenezer, as in like Ebenezer Scrooge, and he's one of the father's partners, Ebenezer is, and the father is like very much a Scrooge, like cheap but rich character. So that's kind of funny that his partner is named Scrooge. It's like a little reference, I think, to Christmas Carol. Keep reading and I'll update you in a bit. Reading this still, and I am loving it. The last Agatha Christie that I read, Halloween Party, I was not obsessed with. I was like just not very roped into it. But this one, I am so roped in. I love all the characters. They're very unique, and so I'm able to picture them better. I feel like that was lacking in the last one. And it's such an interesting little whodunit story, and I'm loving it. Also, why is there not like an Agatha Christie TV show? Like a Hercule Poirot like mini series. I feel like that would be so good, because this definitely could be condensed into an hour, and that would be so fun. Does that already exist? If so, I need to watch it. But yes, big fan. Also, the little like, there's like a twist for one of the characters right now about like who he actually is, and I did not expect that, but it makes so much sense now, and I am excited to find out who did it. I have no guesses whatsoever. I have no clue, but I'm not mad about the fact that I have no clue, because it's unraveling in a like in a way that makes sense. It's not completely arbitrary, like how Halloween Party kind of felt sometimes. I have 30 pages left. I realized I did not update about this like whatsoever, but enjoying it. Very good. It all got revealed and it wrapped up so nicely. Like when you get a book that wraps up so nicely to where it like makes sense, it's so satisfying when it wraps up like that. I really liked this. I feel like this is probably one of her best books. I've only read like 3, including this, of her works. Like on the back, it has a quote from the New York Times that says, "Perrault has solved some puzzling mysteries in his time, but never has his mighty brain functioned more brilliantly than in this book." I don't know why I can't talk tonight. That took me like 3 clips to say, but I have to agree. Get to this next year, so good night. Reading, Christmas, holiday. Also, I'm gonna start a book on Kindle Unlimited. Currently read called The Visitor. It's by Sergio Gomez, who wrote Camp Slaughter. And I'm excited because I liked that book a lot. So I think I'm gonna switch from the classic to that. It's supposed to be like a horror about a visitor showing up on Christmas and killing everyone. I think that's generally what it is. And it's short, it's a novella, it's like 90 pages. So I think that's a good way to start it off, you know, read a short one, finish it, feel accomplished. Hello, I am about halfway through the book. I feel like I'm reading kind of slow. Like I don't know if this is just me, but sometimes it's not even based on the book's content. It's just like sometimes my brain is working faster and I can read faster, but today it's just like, I don't know, my brain is slower. It feels like more work to read. I don't know. I hope that doesn't mean a reading slump is coming, but yeah. But I'm reading the book and it's strange. It's good. It's basically, it's like an isolated thriller horror, paranormal horror. It's kind of sci-fi. They're stranded in the middle of Indiana in a snowstorm, and they're at this diner, this like gang of random people. Like they didn't know each other. Some of them did, but a lot of them didn't know each other, and they're here at this diner and then something happens, which you can guess from the quote that I showed you that it's an extraterrestrial force that comes, but we don't know why. We don't know what's gonna happen. That's why I have to keep reading. That's how a book works. But yeah, it's only 90 pages and I'm at like 45 pages, so nice quick little read. Gonna continue that and let you know. I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of like alien or sci-fi villains. Like I'd much rather have it be a human. I think that's creepier. See how it goes. Hello, I never updated you, but I finished The Visitor. It was very quick. It was 84 pages. It's very predictable and didn't really make you think like deeper, but I enjoy Sergio Gomez's writing so much that it was still fun to read and spooky. So still good, but like overall, you know, like a 3-star kind of deal. Now we're gonna switch over to The Mistletoe Motive, which is another short one. This is like 200 pages. And it's about this girl that works in a bookstore, and I think it's a grumpy sunshine kind of deal. I don't really know much about this, but I know that there's like a playlist that goes along with it, which is fun. Like at the beginning of the chapter, it tells you like what song to play. So that's fun. So we're gonna get into that. So I just read the first chapter and I already need to update because I am really liking it. And the first chapter, I feel like just so much happened and was explained so well. Like so much backstory was explained in a way that wasn't like shoving it down your throat, but gave you a good insight into what is gonna happen very quickly, which I enjoyed. So I'm liking it so far. It's just like a quick update I wanted to give. Hello from me and Venus. About 50 pages in, and this is one of my favorite like holiday romance reads so far. I feel like it's so good. It's just like the conversation between the characters flows so nicely, and it's so just like atmospheric to read, especially the additions of songs. And I don't know, I love the main character so far, and I think there's a lot of like potential for the story to grow, even though it's only like 170 pages. So I'm excited, but I'm gonna go to bed. Hello, I just finished the book and I loved it so much. But this book was perfect, like literally perfect. Like I'm debating rating it 5 stars, but then I'm like, I don't know, I feel weird rating a holiday book 5 stars. I don't know why. But I loved it. First of all, this is the perfect length for a romance. Like it was 179 pages, and that's just the perfect length. It didn't drag anywhere. Everything happened at a good pace, and no like annoying little like miscommunication things had to happen to like give it a longer length. So perfect. Perfect. I only want to read novellas from now on. It's funny, they had a lot of like references to Pride and Prejudice, which we love. And this is an enemies to lovers, so it's very fitting. Also, the girl in it, she's on the spectrum, and the guy, he has diabetes, and the way that the author wrote both of the characters, I feel like was very respectful and authentic and good. So that's another pro. It was just so cute, and they were so cute together. Also, every book should be written with a playlist attached. Like it just sets the scene so well. There was a song for every chapter, and it just like makes you feel like you're really in the story. So I love this book. Go read it. It was so unexpectedly good. Hello, welcome. It is the next day. First of all, last thoughts on the romance, on the mistletoe motive. I loved it. The only big fault that I found was I don't know where it took place. I have no idea. They kept referencing the city but not saying what city it was, so that had me confused. Yeah, I was picturing somewhere like up north, like Minnesota, but did not know, so that's like the only fault that I have in that book. After that book, I continued with the classic that I'm reading. So I'm reading Christmas holiday right now, and I am definitely enjoying it. I'm like 70 pages in, and the characters so far very interestingly set up. I like the writing style. I'm having no thoughts right now. I'll update you when like actual things come into my brain, but yes. And I was reading The Family Game, which is a thriller. I was very confused at the beginning because the girl's name is Harry, and so I assumed she was a man. And then she was talking about her fiance, and his name is Edward, so I was like, that's a man. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, little like gay couple. So I was like picturing two guys, and then it went to them like meeting at a party, and it was talking about how her high heel got stuck, and I was like, wait, so is it a girl? And then eventually you find out that yeah, Harry is a nickname for Harriet. That had me thrown. I was fully like, I had this man pictured in my head, and then it was like, no, that's a girl. So that threw me. Is Harry a popular British name for girls, like a British nickname? Because I've never met a Harry in my life that's a girl. Hello, I am still reading The Family Game, and I am loving it. I am hooked. I need to get to the end. I need to know what happens. Yeah, I have no like guesses as to what's happening because I still don't really, I don't know, there's like a lot of random parts and questions that I don't have the answer to, and I'm excited to learn them. And yeah, it's just really good. The only con I have is the author doesn't know how to like combine words. She doesn't use like contractions really ever. So like instead of saying doesn't, she says does not. And it messes with my brain because in real life, you rarely don't use contractions. Like you see, I just said don't instead of like, you rarely do not use contractions. Like it sounds weird. And so that's bugging me. I don't know why she doesn't use them, but that's annoying me. I don't know, maybe it's because the character is British. Do British people not use contractions? Maybe they don't use contractions. I don't know. Okay, I just remembered a quote that I read in the book yesterday that I thought was interesting that I wanted to share. I'm paraphrasing, but it was basically like, we like thrillers because it has a nice tidy ending and everything is wrapped up, and that rarely happens with crime in real life. And I was like, or not even crime, just like life in general, things do not get wrapped up in a nice little bow. And I was like, that is so true. That is a big reason why I read thrillers, because that like satisfaction of knowing like, oh, and all the loose ends are tied up is so good, which is why I hate thrillers that end on an ambiguous note. Speaking of how things don't get wrapped up in real life, this video is ending now very abruptly because it's the end of the day after Christmas, and that was like my vision for this video. I'm acting like this video had any vision. It really didn't. It was very disorganized, but I hope you enjoyed my silly little thoughts on these random books. And yeah, I have about 100 pages left in The Family Game, and am planning on finishing it still before December is up, probably tomorrow. So if you want to hear my final thoughts, then watch my December wrap up when it comes out. Okay, cool. Thank you for watching this video, even though it was kind of a mess. And like and subscribe if you made it this far, because if you can withstand this video, then I'm sure you'll like my more put together content. Okay, cool. Bye.